Today, let's ask ourselves, re-editions, lazy cash grab or celebrating a beloved design? I think it depends. Listen guys, it's no secret over the last 5, 6, almost 7 years that we have seen re-edition after re-edition after re-edition, and they aren't always great. Sometimes they're repetitive and redundant, but other times they are oh so good. And we're gonna break down the best to the worst and in no particular order. Hey guys, welcome in. My name's Caleb. If you're new to my channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Give this video a thumbs up, say hi down in the comments. Let's start a conversation. Like, do you have any re-editions in your collection? Are there any that you want in your collection? I know there's one that I want. So make sure to stay tuned till the very end to see my favorite re-edition. It's no secret that when you think of re-edition, the very first designer that comes to your mind, wait, don't say it, Prada. Prada, and more Prada. Listen guys, they gave us the 1995 re-edition, the 2000 to 2005 re-edition, the 2002 re-edition, the 2006 re-edition. How many more bags can they come up with? As far as this list goes, Prada is probably my least favorite re-edition, minus the 2002. I think that bag is 100% fire. The 95 is really cute too. But I'm really sick of seeing the 2000 to 2005 pochette utilitarian bag vibe that got that whole utilitarian trend kicked off. And I'd like to see something new from Prada. I think they've been a little too focused on these re-editions, so we need to shake it up. Now, another company that does re-editions really well and to very little to no fanfare is Louis Vuitton. So with LV, they've recently released or re-released 3 iconic bags from the archives. We've got the City Monogram bag, which is 100% a vibe. I prefer the original with less vachetta, but it's still a vibe, 100%. The Ellipse PM Monogram, I mean, come on, she's cute, she's fun. Interesting design. It came out with that like tennis collection, what was it, last year already? Oof, time flies. And then last but not least, my favorite of the 3, the can bag. I would love to add an epi can, like from the original collection in either like Toledo Blue, Borneo Green. One day it will happen. But what I like about how LV does it is there's little to no fanfare and they're not solely relying on that to be their it bag. I mean, granted, LV has like 1,000 bags at any given time, but it's just nice. It's refreshing that they're not like Prada and that's all they can do. Now, next up, another really iconic re-edition that came out of left field. I'm not sure that anyone was really asking for it. It just kind of like showed up one day and we were like, okay, we're on board. None other than the Dior Saddle Bag. Listen guys, I loved the Dior Saddle Bag in Sex and the City, especially the status print one when Aiden catches her smoking outside the restaurant. 100% a vibe. Now listen guys, I can appreciate them in other people's collections and I can lust over them when I'm at the Dior boutique downtown. However, at almost over $4,200, I won't be adding one to my collection anytime soon. Listen guys, that is almost half of a Kelly. That's almost half of a Birkin. You might as well go all the way and get a beautiful iconic bag that'll be classic and forever. I don't know, I feel like the Dior Saddle Part 2 has a bit of a shelf life and we're nearing the end of it. Another house that's jumping on this re-edition trend is none other than the house of Gucci. So they've recently given us the Diana tote, which listen, I almost fell head over heels for it, I almost bought, but now the price point after a couple of price increases, again, where for the small tote, which is probably the size I'd want to get, we're nearing $3,980. Ugh, $3,300 for the mini tote, which I've heard doesn't really hold that much. And then everyone's really polarized about the bamboo bands. So the bamboo bands were originally sold with the bag for storage, but now they've made them leather, stamped them Gucci, and they can stay on full time, which, I mean, up to you, personal style. I might keep them on for a sportier look, but probably go without. Quite honestly, I've been a little bored with Gucci lately. That's what I said, safe space. So I don't think I'm going to be investing almost $4 grand into a Gucci Diana tote. To that same effect, another bag that they've re-released is the Blondie collection, which I think, what was it, 70s or 80s? Fire bag. I think that front emblem is gonna have a little bit of a problem with scuffing, especially being shiny brass. I'd be a little worried. Again, $3,600. Not in the mood. Now, one bag that I am super excited about is the Horsebit clutch, which I think Tom Ford debuted in 2003 for the fall collection. I'm super excited to see it back. However, I am very disappointed I didn't snatch one up when they were like $300-400 on Fashion File. Like, Fashion File was giving these things away for a time and now they've doubled in price because we're all anticipating the comeback. But they're 100% a vibe. I think that they can be dressed up, dressed down. There's sportier versions that are coming out. You of course have the classic versions with the exotic leather stripes. I'm 100% here for it. I'm excited to see I'm excited to see what they do with it. It's going to be a big thing for Gucci, I think. All right, at the other end of the price spectrum, we have a few contemporary designers who've also jumped onto this trend, which to mixed results. Not gonna lie. NGL, hashtag NGL. So first up, we're going to be looking at Kate Spade, and I have mentioned this bag on my channel a couple of times because it is 100% a vibe. This is none other than the Sam Icon Leather Small Tote. It's one of the better priced versions on this list, $298. So far, it comes in 4 iconic colors from, I think, what was it, the late 90s when this came out, early 2000s. So Y2K vibes, we're here for it. So I think that this is a really good way to kind of jump into the re-edition trend without paying an arm and a leg. Some of these, you guys, are like $4,000. $298 is a drop in the bucket when you're considering it on this list. Now, another house that we're going to talk about, you're going to be stunned. I'm stunned that I'm even mentioning it, but I'm only mentioning it because this was when the brand that we're about to talk about, disclaimer, was still good, in my humble opinion. Just gonna have to get it out. I just have to say it. I'm gonna say this on camera and have a serious face. So on the count of 3, I cannot believe I'm gonna mention this. The Michael Kors Aster Large Studded Leather Tote Bag. There, I said it. I have just mentioned a Michael Kors bag on my video. Listen, if Michael Kors is your jam 100%, do you? It is just not mine. Listen, I was that guy at one time. I had 2 or 3 in my collection a while ago. This was one of the bags that everyone loved, the Aster collection. So he had just come off of Celine. If you don't remember, Michael Kors was at one point the creative director for Celine. The boogie bag, hello, iconic. For his brand, he came out with what was called the Aster collection, and everyone loved it, especially in this luggage brown color. 100% a vibe, currently priced at $498. And if you can take off that ludicrous brass hang tag with the MK initials off the front, it could almost be a cute bag. There, I said it. I said something nice. All right, moving on. If you've been around within the last week on my channel, if not, hi, I'm Caleb. Welcome in. We had talked about the Coach Soho Re-Edition on Sunday, and you guys flooded the comments with your thoughts, your opinions, your hot takes. 100% a safe space. I was here for it. But the Coach Re-Editions are not passing the vibe check. To recap and bring you up to speed, all of the leather accents on both the Soho Re-Edition and the Demi Pouch Re-Edition are bonded leather, which is not great, especially when you're charging $350. Not a vibe. Let's check out the house of Balenciaga. I'm torn on this one. So scandal aside, let's put that off to the side for a moment and just talk about the handbag. The neo-classic. As you all know, I used to be a huge Balenciaga collector. I've since pulled back. However, they have re-released the city bags, like the classic, like city, part-time, yada yada, into what is now called the neo-classic. And the reason I included this because it's clearly a re-edition, a rethink of the classic city collection, the moto style bags. And I'm torn on it because I love how structured they are. I love how modern they look, but I don't love the new exorbitant price tags, which are about average $3,000 for a bag with, I don't think, full leather lining. So I'm not loving the price point because of that. I like the structure and I like the design and I like the homage to the motocross collection. Don't love the interior, definitely don't love the price. So I have to share with you guys my latest obsession. Obsession is putting it lightly, very mildly. Quite honestly. I've saved the best for last, you guys. This is at the top of the list for today for several reasons. It's also the one I want to buy. So listen, I fell in love with this bag at Neiman Marcus a few weeks ago. We were with Jamie at Luxe Petite, and there in the middle of the handbag section was this beautiful museum case, 2 actually, with none other than the Marc Jacobs Stam bag. It was so listen, they have the small version, they have the large version, which is quite honestly the one I want. They come in 2 different colors for the large. We're gonna focus on the large today. If you want the small, like cool, do you, but I want the large and it's my channel, so we're gonna talk about the large. So we first saw this bag in fall winter of 2005. It was originally designed for his muse at the time, Jessica Stam, supermodel. What I love so much about this one is they stayed so true to the design. Like this is exactly what we saw almost 20 years ago. Same dimensions, also made in Italy. So when the Stam bag was first introduced, up until its discontinuation, what was it, like 2015, 2016? Like it's been a couple years. It only went up $100, and it's currently priced at only $1,495. Now listen, I have watched a few review videos on the Marc Jacobs Stam Re-Edition, and people are complaining about the price because I think people forget that before it was just the Marc Jacobs, there was actually a beautiful Marc Jacobs collection made in Italy. Most of the bags were about $1,000, if not a touch more. And I think that he's testing the waters to see if we're open to that again. Hi, I am. If you remember, I recently unboxed my Marc Jacobs Venetia, which was originally, I think, like $9.95 and then $11.95 by the time it was discontinued. Like, compared to today's handbag pricing, like, that is not bad. And it's made in Italy of beautiful Italian lambskin. Mark any other brand on this bag and it would be several thousand more, as we've seen today on this list. Remember, don't forget where Marc Jacobs came from. This bag, the Stam, it's gonna be in my closet sometime soon, mark my words. That's all I have for you today. We covered some re-editions, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the very ugly. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments. Like, did you have any of these bags originally in the day? Do you want the re-editions? What are your thoughts? Sound off down below, let's get a conversation going. And until next time, guys, stay safe, have fun. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Oh, I don't want to get 10% coupon. I just want to look at your website. God, I hate that. Well, all the brands are doing it now. Like, do you want free complimentary shipping? Yeah, I do for $3 grand.